This is the Nightwolf howling at you, and today we are looking at the Transformers Studio Series, Transformers the Movie, Optimus Prime figure. Obviously, we see some nice artwork on the front of the box and some product shots. This will be fun to try to create a thumbnail from. On the top of the box, we have another product render here showing the little blast that he uses in the movie to launch himself to transform. The only time we see him do that to transform. The side just has us showing that he's a commander class, number 31 of the 86 movie ones, I guess, for the Studio Series. The other side is a nice stoic image of him. This might be the one I have to use for the thumbnail. Although I really want to use that one. I guess I could still flip it horizontally. It won't look quite right, but that's a really nice dramatic image. On the back of the box, we see some more product images, renders probably, showing him in all sorts of different positions, and of course the trailer, which at least from what I've seen, the trailer looks like it is properly sized for the vehicle this time. I believe he's the first Commander Class too for the Studio Series line. So this background part should be really interesting to see how they did that in here. I guess that's how they did that, huh? That is really nice, and that is really long. This would be a good background to use for your collection. Is there anything else in there? No. We have the instruction booklet. As per usual with me, I will set this aside for now and hope I can figure out the transformation on my own. He comes packed in robot mode with the trailer in trailer mode. The trailer will be the easy part to deal with. What maniac decided to throw tape on there too? That's a lot of blast effects. Oh, and his axe. Ow. I'm kind of surprised that the I don't know if that's going to be part of the transformation there, but his smokestacks are they're not really attached well, and they move a little too easily. I'd be afraid that they'd break. I guess technically the G1 toy, they move too. And in fact, I guess I shouldn't complain too much, because whenever I pack him away, I always make sure to pack it so that the thin part of the stack is against the body. I'm going to cheat a little bit here, I should say, or maybe cop out might be the word to put it. I'm going to set aside our robot here, and I'm going to start with the trailer and roller. So Optimus Prime's trailer. We can actually set roller on there. You know, the theory had always been in the cartoon that what happens when Prime releases his trailer, roller pops out and then takes it. And that's why you never see his trailer. What's interesting to note, too, is he's got two peg holes in him at the top. So you can do either one. Although it looks better in the back. We got Optimus Prime's rifle here. That, too, we can fit in the back of roller. To be honest, most of the time when I would have my G1 roller or Prime put away, I would actually have the gun on roller. You can only really fit the gun in the back, and it's kind of a tight squeeze there, so you're actually kind of rubbing it on the back of roller, and it looks like I've already done some damage to the paint there doing that. So that's a bit of a shame. That is something that was not well thought out. They should have made them just a smidge longer, or they didn't even need to have this here, to be perfectly honest. I'm not sure why it is. But he is not. I'm not gonna say solid, but he does have a nice bottom. They didn't like leave everything open like the original toy. And of course, based on the old Diaclone series, you could fit the figures in there. However, I think you actually are supposed to be able to fit Headmasters or the Titan Masters in this. I only got the one to try this with, but yeah, it does look like you could fit 4 Titan Masters on roller if you wanted to. Or as we used to call them, the Headmasters. The trailer has the sides that pop out, and then we have a little twist there, making it the most stable of the trailers thus far in the current line. And honestly, this is a little bit better of a setup than they had in the original toy, which just popped out and it still leaned a little bit. We will open up the back of the trailer. That feels like that could break easily. And now we open up the inside of the trailer. We have our little drone here. Oh, and I guess that would technically be the reason why Roller's got the 2 peg holes in them, is because you can peg the drone onto Roller as well. I'm referring to this as a drone, but I guess it's also generally considered to be the repair bay drone. To be honest, I am not sure this was necessary to do. I was going to say necessarily necessary. Actually, I still like necessarily necessary better to say anyway. But they did that instead of like setting up an ejection thing for Roller like they had in the original toy. Also, while the inside is detailed, there is no color or paint in there, but it does have spots in which you can hold the different effects and extra items. Plus, of course, you can fit the little drone in there like so. I kind of feel like this is actually shorter than the one that came with the original toy. Unfortunately, there is also nowhere in on this for Roller to attach to sit there like you would in the original toy. Again, you had the launcher on the original toy and Roller just attached in there. You'd press a little button in the back and he'd go flying out, which was actually a fun toy. Overall, the trailer Roller is fine. I feel like the drone is a little too small. It does look like this is supposed to open. And again, you have a little seat in there. However, that is too small for the headmaster to fit. Which again, that would have been more of a reason to make this bigger. You know, if you could fit the headmasters in here, you should have been able to fit one in here too. But that's just my opinion. Unfortunately, the radar dish does not turn at all like previous. We do have the turn on the drone arm. We have the elbow there. And the little claw thing opens and closes a little bit, which was the same as the Generation 1 toy. We can fold all that down, stick it back on there, throw a roller back in, close up the trailer for now. So normally we can hinge this back like that, but I believe... Oops. Oh, crap on a cracker. I had thought maybe we could rotate that all the way forward. And just use those stands. But hey, again, my dumbass. There is in fact a little stand thing that goes down on the trailer already. So you don't actually need to use that to do that. Although in all truth, I don't know why they I mean, I guess technically that's easier play-wise, you know, to do than to flip this around all the time, but something to consider. They did go for the standard kind of look Just the plain stripe and the Autobot logo. Brings us to the man, the myth, the legend, as Prime vs. Prime would say, our Studio Series Optimus Prime. I did, in fact, watch Prime vs. Prime transform him once, back when he got it originally. So I have seen it before, but it's been a while. And you saw me open the box. And while there will probably be edits in the video, I still have not cut it. I have not looked at the instructions. They are still closed. And I'm not exactly sure how to start with this one. Usually with an Optimus Prime, you kind of like start with the body and the head. There is a lot of, I mean, it's not, you normally would call it like back kibble, but it is kind of situated so it looks okay. But a lot of this is probably going to turn into the front of the truck. So this, yeah. Okay, so this is kind of weird because the head should fit in there, but it doesn't. Does it need to be this way? I don't know. Oh, we'll get back to that part. Oh shit, you know what? Before we do that, I'm so excited to try to transform this guy, I forgot to go over the articulation. Oh! His ears move! Or his little antennae. Okay. That'll make a difference in a moment. So let's go ahead. Let's do the articulation real quick. As I noted, the little head ears do move. His head is on a ball joint. You can kind of look down just a slight bit. Can't really look up, but you can look off to the side. There is no built-in light piping on this one. His arm can hinge up, and his smoke deck does not stab him in the side of the head, so that's good. We can do a full 360 spin around. No butterfly joint. We have a single joint at the elbow. Goes forward quite far. Goes back even farther, though that's probably due to transformation. The smokestacks obviously rotate. We have a spin at the waist here. I do not see an ab crunch available, which is unfortunate. It does not look like there's a transformation part that will allow us to have a fake one. The skirt pieces here do lift up on the front and the back. So that means that we can kick forward really far and back really far. We can also kick sideways quite nicely. We do have a thigh cut so it can spin, though you can't really do a full 360 because you get caught at the front. You can almost make it all the way around, but the way the leg is designed, it doesn't do that. We have a single joint at the knee that goes a huge amount, and it is shaped really nicely there to kind of make it look natural. We do have ankle rockers, so we can have him nice and stable with his legs spread. And he also has articulated fingers. Interestingly enough, he's got one really big finger and three smaller fingers. And there is double articulation here, so the first knuckle and the second knuckle. And as I recall, we should be able to open up his chest. Once, twice, and one more time to give us the Matrix of Leadership. And that actually is kind of a good recreation of how it worked in the cartoon. Although the inside of the chest piece is not quite shaped the way it was. Or the spark chamber. Yeah, well, I guess we would call that the spark chamber nowadays, or the matrix chamber. But this also means that we should be able to, and the reason why his hands are spaced the way they are, or his fingers, theoretically, would be so that he can hold the matrix. Like so. Just like to remind you, however, in the show, and I think in the cartoon when they have Optimus Prime actually do the Matrix, their hands, fit all the way in there. It's not this teeny tiny little finger thing. Chances are, just to keep from breaking off those fingers, though, you're probably going to just have them sitting there, mostly in neutral fist position. And of course, he can hold his gun. Normally I don't complain about the articulated fingers, but man, those are a pain in the ass. Also, it's not particularly easy to actually open the chest plate. The Matrix also, it kind of sits in there, but it fell out pretty easy earlier. And while we're doing this, we have his Energon axe, which apparently... Okay. In order to use that, we need to flop his hand around. And I guess if the fingers don't close properly, you can't get the fist to go all the way in either. So you have to put the hand in place in order to do that. I'm just going to leave the hand like that because I'm pretty sure that's going to be needed for transformation anyway. So normally this is the point where I fumble through the transformation. However, this video is already so long that I decided to cut the transformation off into a separate video. So if you want to watch that, that's fine. If you don't want to watch that, that's also fine. But I just wanted to let you know. And now on to the rest of our show. Well, it doesn't feel like everything compressed in there properly. Some of the tabs just do not appear to be sitting in here where they're supposed to. Which has only some of the wheels working. Although this side seems to be fine. This side is not sitting right. That being said, we got the hole there to attach the trailer. Although that's kind of weird. It's the weirdest thing because supposedly the gun can fit somewhere on the back of the trailer here, and I don't know where it's supposed to because I don't see a thing for that or for that. Except for maybe that spot. That's pretty sad. Let's bring out our blast effects real fast, too. Oh, for the love of Christ. Alright, so we have his jump effects here. One for each side. So they gave you blast effects here to try to recreate this one moment in here where he launches himself, which I don't know how many people are actually going to pose this like that. I'm going to assume pretty much nobody. But if you do, let me know in the comments below. I'm certainly curious about that. Of course, we do have a kind of standard laser blast effect that fits at the end of the rifle. I think they'll also fit on the end of the smokestacks too. Well, maybe not. Yep, they will fit. Yeah, they will fit at the smokestacks. Don't know why you'd want to do that. But you can also fit the laser effects onto the drone in the trailer. As mentioned before, the blast effects can be stored in the trailer. And the gun also is supposed to be able to store it back here. Okay, like that. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. So the blast effect ball does have two holes in it, one on the side and one on the front. There's a peg here and then that, so I actually accidentally got that right on the other one. So there's also a hole there and a peg up there. Okay, so that's how you store the equipment inside of the trailer. I mean, overall, it's a great figure. I don't think too many people are going to have this Prime in vehicle mode, to be perfectly honest. It's too expensive of a figure to leave them that way. And, man, that was a pain in the ass to transform. Definitely not as intuitive as other Transformers have been in the past. What's kind of sad, though... Wait a minute. It appears that there are... There we go. Looks like the back of the trailer does open up so we can hide the other blast effects back here. Okay. So in vehicle mode, he can hold all of his accessories. Something else I noticed. Okay, so Roller does have a way to attach to here. You've got these two little tabs here and these slices here. So if you don't want Roller rolling around, you stick them in backwards, the exact opposite way you did in the original toy. I think that covers everything. I hope you enjoyed this cluster duck of a transformation and review. I did not expect it to be that difficult to transform this Optimus Prime. I really did not. And there's so many parts to there are enough parts to doing it that just aren't intuitive that it made it really difficult. Like that one step where we had to do the two things from the side, pull them back, squish them together, and turn them, and whatever. That I did not. That I couldn't figure out on my own because that one part didn't look like it flipped up at the time. But anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this. I do think at least the robot mode of this Optimus Prime is one of the best looking Transformers we've gotten in a long time from Hasbro. Which again is probably why most people are going to leave this guy in robot mode and not vehicle mode. Sadly, that means the trailer will most likely end up in your spare parts bin. Like I know a lot of people will put the trailer up upright and put it there, but that's still taking up a lot of real estate on your shelf because you need to put it on like a top shelf for it to do that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget you can do notifications to hear when I have another cluster duck of a video coming out. Peace and love.